Right now at noon, KDOT is back with new plans for US 69, how community input is shaping the roads we drive on.
And we've got some clouds. We're trying to get a little sunlight in there, and it's a little warmer as well, but storms on the way. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, students put their scientific skills to use at summer camp.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, the public gets a first look at improvements that will be made to the US 69 corridor in Crawford County, Kansas. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. The Kansas Department of Transportation is hosting a series of public meetings showing and explaining final concepts for the plan and laying out which ones are already funded. The plan covers an 18-mile stretch of the highway from the Arma area south to the Crawford-Cherokee County line, which includes the bypass around Pittsburgh. Public meetings were held in both Frontenac and Pittsburgh yesterday. Now, the presentations included this simulated aerial view of the future stretch of highway. There are 15 intersections in the plan, and changes include entrance consolidations, a number of roundabouts, and turning lanes. Funding is already secured for many of the projects.
Projects we have identified, KDOT is committed to complete them. We have some that are committed for construction, and then the remainders are committed for final design, just to get them up to design. We don't have the construction money committed to them yet. They've identified the ones to be committed for completion based on a series of things, what we have left for funding in the IKE transportation program.
Now, the KDOT presentation lays out which intersections are low, medium, and high priority. Work is set to begin on the projects from 2026 to 2029. And KDOT is hosting 2 more public meetings today. Now, the first started at 11 a.m. this morning at the Homer Cole Center in Pittsburgh. The other will be at Northeast High School in Arma from 4 to 6. Then a virtual open house will be held online tomorrow from 11 a.m. until noon. And you can get a link to find that meeting and a link to the animated simulation of the entire project and more information at KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's head over now to Chris for a first look at weather.
We've still got those mostly cloudy skies. We've got some showers out there, not much though, so it's about what we were expecting. And if you look, there's a little bit of daylight trying to sneak through here downtown Pittsburgh. Not having to deal with the fog from this morning though, which is nice. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, looking back to the south. Lots of folks out there. So some changes, unfortunately, to our severe weather outlook, but some good news. No major changes. They did not increase any of the severe risk, but they did spread that isolated tornado threat overnight tonight out a little further across the area. However, our hail and wind risks remain pretty much the same from this morning. And of course, we're going to break down these storm chances for you. Take a look yesterday, and this is about the 4th day now. Our lows have been right on track for normal. It's our highs. They're either above or they're below. And we only made it to 68. Not a lot of change there. As we take a look at temperatures outside right now, it is obviously quite cloudy in Joplin, 71. So we're on track for the low 70s, eventually the upper 70s. East-northeast at 7 with that wind. And taking a look at the conditions in Pittsburgh. Remember, these are updated every hour, but they're not necessarily updated on the hour, and they come from the airport. But Pittsburgh was reporting rain, and it looked like there was maybe a light shower about 15 minutes ago. It was going through the city. 68 otherwise. Temperatures a little cooler up north for some. 67 Fort Scott is one of the cooler spots. But take a look. Our southern counties already into the mid-70s. Well on their way maybe to some of the low 80-degree readings out there. The rest of us into the low 70s, upper 60s. We're still on track for the upper 70s a little later today. But again, the warmer air is what's setting the stage for the thunderstorm chances that'll start after midnight. We'll have mostly cloudy skies for the majority of the day, calm winds, and our storm chances will increase after midnight. That's when that severe threat picks up. We're going to talk about tonight's severe threat, tomorrow night's severe threat, and our weekend forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a lot of areas in the 4 states have been experiencing flooding, and northeast Oklahoma has already begun to experience some flooding of its own, and communities are preparing for even more. The city of Miami has placed barricades in the areas that most frequently flood, such As at Riverview Park, the Neosho River is still rising, with the National Weather Service expecting it to reach its highest level today. National Weather Service projects flood waters won't begin to recede until Sunday. A suspect from a 2023 bar shooting in Pittsburgh takes a plea deal. Jamin Allen entered a plea deal for multiple charges, including voluntary manslaughter and aggravated battery. Crawford County prosecutors originally charged Allen with murder in the first degree following a fatal shooting at Jimmy B's in Pittsburgh. Allen's sentencing is scheduled for August 22nd. The shooting happened in August 2023 at around 1:15 in the morning at Jimmy B's. Responders discovered Justin Krogan from Pittsburgh. He had been shot outside of the bar and died from his injuries. Authorities believed it stemmed from an argument. Well, the oldest building in the USD 247 school district is over a century old and facing serious maintenance challenges. Yesterday, the Southeast Elementary School in Weir, Kansas hosted a public tour followed by a special meeting to discuss the building's condition and future. Increased water damage has disrupted learning and raised safety concerns, and despite ongoing repairs, major renovations are needed.
Some people have a lot of emotion tied to old buildings where they've gone to school, and I got to hear some of those people visiting out front. It was fun to listen to them. Again, it's trying to do what's best for our kids and our community right now to move forward, whatever that looks like.
The board decided to temporarily close the main campus building and move the 3rd and 4th graders to the middle school until further studies can be conducted. Well, if you're a fan of books and coffee, you might want to check out the Nevada Public Library's newest tenant. The Precision Coffee Company in Nevada is partnering with the library to provide a new gathering space. Now, they're currently in the process of moving from their old location to a repurposed space in the annex of the library. Precision Coffee hopes their partnership will drive more traffic towards both businesses while providing a new way for people to connect after library programs. Their grand opening is set for June 10th. And coming up, as measles outbreak continues to grow around our area, some expert advice on preventing the disease. We'll take a look, and later we're making famous creamy Italian dressing in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, middle school students from the Neosho Talent Surge got a hands-on look at healthcare careers this morning thanks to a special program at Freeman Health System's East Campus. From stethoscopes to scrubs, it's a real-world glimpse into the medical field. The students also took part in a mock physical therapy session.
My time was pretty fast, but it was kind of hard balancing on some of the stuff because it is kind of therapy kind of stuff, so I'm not that good at balance, so I had to try to even that out.
The event was designed to spark interest early and show students there's a place for them in medicine, no matter their path. Well, Taney County had the first case of measles in Missouri this year, and the county's health department sent out a thank you to the community for helping prevent the spread of the disease. Regan DiTrollo has a look at what you need to know when it comes to the viral infection.
When we got the news, we were ready and able to respond.
Tatum O'Dell with the Taney County Health Department says although measles cases are rare, the department was ready for the disease.
The first measles case in Missouri actually occurred in Taney County on April 18th. And through partner collaboration, we were able to effectively contact trace and contain that case and contain those exposures.
Cox Health infectious disease doctor Saeed Naqvi says do what you can to protect yourself from the disease.
Staying at home, monitoring your fevers, making sure you're not going to big gatherings, big events, really limiting and kind of limiting the contact with the others.
If you have plans to fly to an international destination this summer, health leaders recommend you check in with your doctor first in case you need the measles vaccine or booster shot.
According to the CDC, adults born in 1957 or later who haven't been vaccinated or aren't sure of their vaccination status should consider getting vaccinated, but doctors say it's case by case.
You have to know about the patient to see if this is really indicated where So it's a good question to ask your physicians and see if it applies to you and if you can be a candidate for that.
While measles is more common in young children, anyone can get it. So if you think you may have it, seek help immediately.
And the window where we can do things like immunoglobulins and the vaccinations and other therapeutics, that is a short window.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Today, we've got something really special to dress up your summer salads. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this.
And we're tracking thunderstorm chances tonight into tomorrow and tomorrow night into Saturday. We'll have a look at those storm chances, break it down for you when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon on this Thursday afternoon. Still got clouds out there trying to get some peaks of sun, but even without that sun, temperatures slowly but surely beginning to rise for some of us. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. You can see right now we've still got those mostly cloudy skies. Had a shower pass through the city just not long ago, and you can see it on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Not all of this necessarily is reaching the ground, but it's the remnants of, again, some shower activity from this morning. So these are those isolated showers we talked about that would be possible. However, things change as we go overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. And right now, it still looks as though the best window for strong to severe thunderstorms tonight is going to be between midnight and about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So here's our risks. We do have an isolated tornado threat across the southwestern half of our area. And then we have the isolated hail risk. It spreads a little further out there. And then we have the isolated to scattered, or the level 2 out of 5 risk for damaging wind gusts across parts of Kansas and into northeastern Oklahoma. So here's what we're looking at rolling through the afternoon. A couple of those isolated showers still trying to hang on. Might even get some brief moments again of partly cloudy skies. And then we're looking even as early as 11, could start to get some thunderstorm activity in to our far western counties. So we've got maybe here near Fredonia, stretching back into Elk, Greenwood, and Chautauqua counties. That's just an initial beginning of some scattered storms. Nothing too crazy. But as the morning progresses, here we are now at 2:30. We've got some showers. We've got thunderstorms out ahead of this, and then we've got additional ones, and this is where that higher severe threat comes from, is from this activity here into Oklahoma. Keep on rolling to the east, and we've got strong to severe thunderstorms now. 5 o'clock Friday morning, pushing on through the area. And we could have potentially a second round or a trailing round of some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms right back behind that. Now, we go through the rest of our Friday, things are fine. We've got some isolated showers, a few rumbles of thunder. No severe weather is expected with that activity. But as we go later into Friday, we've got scattered storms initially. And then as we go overnight, almost the same time frame, from Friday night into early Saturday morning, here comes another round of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms that'll begin to roll through the area. And then we could have some lingering storms back behind that, but that will go through maybe at least through 7, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Now into the afternoon, things look okay, but as we go later into the evening, we should start clearing out, but we'll still have a threat for some strong to low-grade severe storms on Saturday. This is tomorrow, and again, this is not tomorrow morning. This is going to be our storms that we see tomorrow night. So Friday night into Saturday morning, we do have another isolated tornado risk in the southern half of our area. Same with the hail, but it covers a broader area here, and the wind risk does as well, with the slightly higher wind risk in the southern portion of our areas. So damaging wind gusts are going to be the main concern. Once we get beyond that, so just backing up, here's today, which is really tonight, the midnight through 9 a.m. This is going to be tomorrow night from, let's say, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. on Saturday. And then Saturday morning, mid-morning, a few lingering storms could be strong to low-grade severe at this point. Rest of today, though, again, most of us making the upper 70s, but our southern counties already warming into the mid to upper 70s, surprise some low 80s out there. While those mostly cloudy skies, storms increasing coverage overnight tonight, winds are calm, at least non-thunderstorm winds, and we'll go back into the mid-60s. We'll have those thunderstorm chances in the morning, and again overnight from Friday into Saturday, and we'll make about 80 tomorrow. Once we get beyond that, the 80s are what's going to be hanging around. We got those chances wrapping up. Maybe a few lingering showers or early morning storms Sunday. Sunday, though, we finally dry out by the afternoon. Temperatures next week climbing, though, could get close to 90 by Wednesday. But at least we get a chance to dry out a little bit. But still a few days of strong storms we're going to have to keep an eye on.
All right, well, we'll just wait for Sunday then, I guess. Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making famous creamy Italian dressing in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today Howard is sharing an easy and delicious salad dressing that's perfect for any summer occasion. He's making famous creamy Italian dressing in the Mr. Food Test kitchen.
If you have a vegetable garden, you know there's nothing better than a homegrown tomato or freshly picked peppers. Now, I don't have a garden, but the next best thing is having a neighbor who does. So what I do is make him some homemade dressings. It's my way of thanking him for sharing his bounty with me. So let me show you how easy these are. For my famous creamy Italian dressing, all I do is put some mayo, vegetable oil, white vinegar, a squeeze of lemon juice, a bit of Parmesan, a touch of sugar, of course some fresh garlic and Italian seasoning, and last but not least, a little salt. We put that in a blender and give it a whirl. Besides the fresh taste, the big difference between this and most of the bottled dressings that you get in the market is that we can pronounce everything that's in this one. And since variety is the spice of life, I usually like to make a couple of different varieties, so there's something for everyone. As a matter of fact, if you want the recipe for my famous creamy Italian dressing, our zesty Greek-style dressing, and everyone's favorite, our creamy honey mustard dressing, you gotta go online. And while you're there, make sure you check out our entire collection of homemade dressings. I'm Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fresher way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Of course, you can find today's recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. All you have to do is head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, again, we want to remind you some strong, potentially severe thunderstorms overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then again possibly late tomorrow night into Saturday morning. A few scattered storms Saturday, temperatures warming up, getting darn near hot next week, with a few more rain chances next Thursday, but of course we'll be tracking those storms tonight and again tomorrow night as well.
Absolutely. All right, Chris, thanks. Dad, what are you for us tonight?
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, this week we've told you the KDOT's hosting a round of meetings for Crawford County residents to get a glance at improvements for US 69 highway. It includes a number of roundabouts, we pointed out. Well, we're going to hear from residents on that proposed plan. Plus, Mercy hosts a cancer survivors picnic to celebrate survivorship and recovery. And we're going to be live in Galena, Kansas for the annual Galena Days. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dell, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.